Hello, everybody. The intersection of LGBTQ plus rights and foster care policy represents a significant area of concern, particularly following recent executive orders that have implications for LGBTQ plus individuals seeking to foster children. These orders have drawn considerable attention for their potential consequences, reinforcing barriers for LGBTQ plus individuals and families in the foster care system. This video explores the details of these orders, the historical context of LGBTQ plus rights in foster care, and the broader implications for children in the system. Understanding the recent executive order. The recent executive order signed by the current administration permits faith-based organizations to prioritize placement in foster care in accordance with specific religious beliefs. Notably, this policy allows these organizations to exclude LGBTQ plus individuals from being considered as foster parents, effectively codifying discrimination against this community. It may further facilitate placement in homes where LGBTQ plus identities are unrecognized or outright rejected. These executive directives often reflect a shift in the governmental attitudes towards religious freedom, arguing that it is essential to protect the rights of faith-based organizations. However, critics condemn these policies for prioritizing religious beliefs over the well-being of children and marginalized groups, raising concerns about the real-world implications of such decisions. The legal context and justification. Proponents of the executive order argue that it represents the religious convictions of organizations within the foster care system, especially those that operate based on particular faith doctrines. They maintain that these organizations should not be compelled to act against their beliefs. However, this legal justification invites ethical questions surrounding the rights of LGBTQ plus individuals, effectively framing access to parenting and caregiving as a battleground for religious freedoms. Critics argue that the order reflects a troubling interpretation of religious liberty, particularly when it leads to institutional discrimination against vulnerable populations. Historical context of the LGBTQ plus rights in foster care. Progress and setbacks. Historically, LGBTQ plus individuals have faced significant barriers in the foster care system. For decades, many states implemented policies that explicitly barred LGBTQ plus individuals from fostering or adopting children, influenced by prevailing societal norms that viewed non-heteronormative identities as deviant. However, as societal attitudes towards LGBTQ plus individuals evolved, advocates were able to push for legislative change that prohibited discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender identity in fostering and the adoption process. In recent years, many jurisdictions embraced inclusive policies, allowing LGBTQ plus individuals and couples to become foster parents, thereby expanding the pool of caregivers to meet the urgent needs of children in foster care. This progress indicated a growing recognition of diverse family structures and a commitment to ensuring that all capable adults, regardless of their sexual orientation, can provide stable, loving homes to children. Recent backsliding. Despite this progress, recent executive orders and legislative initiatives have rolled back those hard-won gains for LGBTQ plus rights in foster care. These setbacks are particularly concerning as they signify a broader trend of discrimination, effectively institutionalizing biases that can affect the lives of LGBTQ plus individuals and the children in their potential care. Implications for LGBTQ plus individuals and children in foster care. Exclusion from foster care opportunities. The new executive order not only generates an environment where LGBTQ plus individuals may feel unwelcome in their desire to foster children, but it also actively thwarts their attempt to engage in a process aimed at helping children in need. The American foster care system is chronically short on qualified foster parents, and excluding capable LGBTQ plus individuals from this pool only amplifies the existing crisis. As a result, many children face prolonged periods of institutional settings or inadequate foster placements, which can exacerbate trauma and developmental changes. Placement in non affirming homes. Children placed in faith-based homes that do not acknowledge LGBTQ plus identities may be thrust into environments lacking understanding and acceptance. This dynamic can be especially harmful for LGBTQ plus youth in a foster care system, as they may be required to conform to beliefs and practices that deny their identities. Research shows that a lack of acceptance can lead to significant mental health challenges, including anxiety, depression, and an increased risk of self harm. Forcing children into non affirming environments jeopardizes their emotional stability and development, making it harder for them to thrive. Effects on LGBTQ plus youth in the foster care system. Studies indicate that LGBTQ plus youth in foster care often face unique adversities, including higher rates of mental health issues and a greater likelihood of experiencing bullying or discrimination. The lack of affirming placements can deepen feelings of alienation, leading to an internalized sense of rejection and low self worth. Without affirming environments, these children struggle to develop a positive self image and may carry the long term impacts of discrimination and exclusion into adulthood. Advocacy and the path forward. Combating discrimination. Advocacy efforts are essential for combating the discriminatory implications of such executive orders. LGBTQ plus rights organizations, including but not limited to the Human Rights Campaign, have mobilized to challenge these policies and raise awareness about the adverse effects on both LGBTQ plus individuals and children in the foster care system. These organizations are dedicated to educating the public, lawmakers, and foster care agencies about the importance of inclusivity and the inherent rights of all individuals to participate in nurturing vulnerable children. Creating affirming care environments. To support children in foster care adequately, it is crucial to advocate for policies that mandate training for foster parents and agencies on LGBTQ plus issues. Creating affirming environments for each individual in their foster care system promotes healthier placements and better outcomes for the youth. Training programs can equip foster parents with the knowledge and tools necessary to support diverse identities, emphasizing the importance and acceptance, as well as understanding. Engaging faith based communities. While some faith based organizations may resist inclusion, engaging in dialogue with these communities is essential for fostering understanding and acceptance. Encouraging faith communities to adopt policies that lift up the dignity and the rights of the LGBTQ plus individuals can create a broader, more inclusive framework for foster care. Building alliances with open-minded religious leaders and followers can promote change from within, emphasizing the guiding principle of love, compassion, and support for all families. By showcasing successful LGBTQ plus role models in faith communities, these dialogues can reshape the narrative surrounding faith and sexuality. Policy advocacy. Finally, advocating for a comprehensive legislative reform that protects LGBTQ plus rights in foster care systems across the nation is essential. This includes pushing for laws that explicitly prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity, that when accessing potential foster parents, collaborative efforts among LGBTQ plus organizations, child welfare agencies, and community stakeholders can help ensure that policies reflect inclusivity and equity. The executive order regarding foster care represents a significant regression in the fight for LGBTQ plus rights, particularly concerning the ability of LGBTQ plus individuals to serve as foster parents. Not only does this order create barriers for capable foster parents, but it also places vulnerable children in potentially harmful, non-affirming homes. Though advocacy, education, and allyship, the LGBTQ plus community and its allies can work together to combat discrimination and promote affirming care environments. Only by challenging existing inequalities and embracing diverse family structure can society ensure that every child has access to loving, supportive homes that honor their identities and foster their well being. As we continue to navigate these complex issues, it is crucial to remember that foster care is not solely about regulations and policies. It is about the lives of children who deserve nurturing and acceptance, empowering all individuals, regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity, to be part of the solution will ultimately contribute to a kinder, more inclusive society for everyone.